that you fall in love with that make you're very interested in, that make you, this energy can be very emotional. And it gives you this great response. Also, it is also waking up those pathologies, those incompletions, those insecurities also in you. So not only does the bad stuff rise, good stuff rise up, but the bad stuff rises up also. So they say that a jealous person is a mentally deranged person that leads a normal life. That's a person who's not been able to get over its own pathologies and problems, traumas, and it registers as jealousy, and they have thinking it has something to do with the situation they're in. No, it's you and your trauma. You see what I'm saying?
And if a person is with a jealous person, what about if the person is not jealous, but their partner is jealous?
It's the same.
That person, you need to leave that person.
You need that. Ultimately, the person has to deal with his idiosyncrasies. Jealousy is not a political act or something you can take off.
Right.
It's only the manifestation of a person's shortcomings.
So can a jealous person love a person?
Yes, a jealous person can love a person.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Yes, a jealous person can love a person. But on the other hand, a jealous person also, because of the jealousy, they might think they are in love with that person, but might not necessarily be in love with that person. It can go either way.
Probably just depending on them.
It just depends, exactly.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because they can do it, because we know that jealousy doesn't necessarily have to do with love. You can be jealous of many things in life and not happen to be in love. You understand what I'm saying? So, you can be jealous of several people that you're not in love with. So, but that person can easily misconstrue a person that they're in a relationship with as being loved because they're jealous of them.
Right.
And they don't understand that this is their own shortcomings. You see them, this their own shortcomings. In that book, Dr. John Bain's book, Jealousy is a mentally deranged person who leads a normal life, in the book, The Science of Love. So,
addicted to the madness.
Exactly. And
it
will come out not necessarily in the aspect of love, but if you notice one thing about it, if that person is jealous, and you deal with that person even when you are no longer in love, or no longer have a relationship, their same mannerisms, pathologies, and the way they deal with you socially will always come up a form of jealousy. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's just a form of jealousy. So how do you deal with the green-eyed monster? It's based on the individual. You yourself, if you are not the jealous type, you cannot make that other person stop feeling, eliminate the jealousy from their life. That person has to deal with some inner work. And that is the only way that it can happen.
All right.
You see, yeah.
Sweet, man. All right. Time too. All right. Next question is, how do you keep your heart chakra balanced? I didn't get the full meaning of that. I mean, I didn't get the. It's a good question. What they mean by it is this: about all the balance and stuff. This stuff has nothing to do with some type of well-oiled machine or some type of thing like that. But I know, I kind of understand what they're trying to say. You keep it balanced. There's only one way to keep something balanced that's inside of yourself. And that's a complete knowledge and understanding of it. You see what I'm saying? I'll give you an example. We can take any occult book. We could take any occult book. See if I can find a picture of the tree of life. They usually put them in most occult books to try and explain something. And all, you could take any one of these books, and there's an aspect of it. Here's one right here. Right here, where you go up the tree of life in these paths. When you get right here, which I'll talk about later, which is Bina, the 50 gates is also called understanding. So you have to get on this top triad, understanding, to go to the top triad of Keva. You see what I'm saying? So you balance anything through knowledge and information of it. And information of it. You know,
Yeah.
So that's how you do it.
Right.
You balance any information based on that.
Right.
Yeah.
That's deep, man. It's deep like you say understanding, because the 5%ers say when you ask them what is love, they always say love is the highest elevation of understanding. They always say that. It's like, even though they have a more profound definition of it, but the first one you taught and how we were taught is love is the highest elevation of understanding.
Understanding, okay.
Yeah, and you said you had to pass through understanding to get to the other.
Yes. So you balance things out by like anything else down here of having a knowledge of it.
Right.
Most things that are imbalanced is ignorance of it and not knowing how it operates.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that's one of the ways of doing it.
Gotcha. Okay, we got plenty more.
Yeah, that's it.
So I'm gonna keep it moving.
Yeah.
Here's one also by a sister, and that's interesting. I got some more that I'm thinking while I'm talking. This one is, what should two lovers do to keep the intimacy going? Like rituals, tantra. What should two lovers do together to keep that intimacy in the
Great question. First thing is, we live in a world of polarities where things down here wax, wane, cycles come and go, up and down, yin and yang, ebbs and flows. You see what I'm saying? When things wax, that means that it's flowing. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And when it wanes, that means ebb, or that means it's at a dormant state. Or it's the opposite pole from where the hell you are. So that's the nature of the realm that we are in, this physical realm, because in the Hermetic text they say, is not the man, the woman, the baby real? They say no, they're not real. They're just mere appearances of being real. They say, well, how would you know? The god Tahuti says to Imhotep, or Tat-An, I think it's Tat, he says if it was real, it would be forever, and it would never disappear. Everything on this earth is in a flux of disintegration and rebuilding. So nothing is forever down here. You see what I'm saying? Because if it was, it would be real. These are series of illusions. Same thing with love, feeling, and anything else. In order for you to keep the intimacy, two things got to happen. One, you got to understand cycles, and this is very important. And very important, especially for married people or people in long-term relationships. This is very important. Until you get to the highest level, which I thank God that I was able to enter into that realm, and I'm going to go into that later on. But at this particular time, as you normal folks, this, what has to happen is just like anything else. Too much of something, too much of anything, you'll have a burnout. The light that burns the brightest burns the least. So moderation is one aspect of keeping things interesting. Now, you saying if you want your intimacy, I'm going to give you a tantric way, and I'm just going to give you a social way. We'll start with the social way first. Man and woman in their highest civilized state, not the Western state, which is civilized barbarism. We are nothing but products now because we live in the Western world. And the people who fashion this Western world is only giving you a backdrop of their incubation period, which was the cave.
Damn.
So as the caveman, one thing happened, and this is the social aspect, but I'll give you the highest level first and can show you how it deteriorated or how we got in the opposite ends of the poles. In the ancient world, man and woman did not sleep every night in the same room because cycles wax, wanes, and things can repel. If you're in the room and the energy is connected, you got it. But when the energy is stagnant and it repels, not necessarily because it's some things that's going on with your life as far as your